$5,000 an ounce. That's what gold costs today. And if you think that's just a number that matters to investors, you're wrong. It's a signal that something fundamental is shifting in the global economy. And gold isn't the only thing crashing through records today. We've also got the weight loss drug war taking a dramatic turn. A measles outbreak that belongs in a history textbook, not a 2026 headline. Airstrikes killing schoolchildren. And a president with the worst numbers of his career walking into the biggest speech of his year. This is Zeitgeist. I'm Zuri. Let's get into it.
So gold at $5,000. Help me understand why that number specifically matters.
Because 5,000 isn't just a milestone, Alistair. It's a verdict. During early trading on February 23, 2026, gold officially breached $5,000 per ounce. To put that in perspective, gold was around $2,000 just 2 years ago. It briefly touched 5,500 in January before pulling back. And now it's back above 5,000. That's not normal appreciation. That's a flight from something.
A flight from what exactly?
From the dollar. From American economic stability. There's a phrase traders are using. The sell America trade. After the Supreme Court struck down Trump's IEEPA tariffs last week, he imposed a new 10% global tariff within 2 hours using a different law. The average effective import tax in the US is now around 15%, levels we haven't seen since the 1930s. And markets are responding not with confidence, but with fear. Central banks around the world purchased a record 1,150 metric tons of gold in 2025. Poland, India, China, they've gone from tactical buyers to what analysts are calling aggressive hoarders. More than 95% of reserve managers are planning to increase gold holdings further. They are actively moving away from dollar-denominated assets.
So this isn't just speculation. Entire countries are hedging against the United States.
Exactly. US debt to GDP now exceeds 120%. The traditional safe haven of US treasuries has been partially supplanted by gold, a neutral, sovereign-free store of value. Regional trade blocs in Europe and Asia are signing deals that bypass the US entirely. The BRICS Plus alliance is even discussing a gold-backed digital settlement unit. Financial historians are drawing parallels to the stagflation of the 1970s. But this might be worse, because the 70s were about oil shocks. This is about a crisis of confidence in the system itself.
And meanwhile, there's a whole different kind of crash happening in pharma today.
Oh, a spectacular one. Novo Nordisk, the company behind Ozempic and Wegovy, just watched its stock plummet 15% in a single session. Their next-generation weight loss drug, CagriSema, was supposed to be the comeback, the drug that would let Novo reclaim the crown from Eli Lilly. Instead, in a head-to-head trial called Redefine 4, CagriSema failed to show it was even as good as Lilly's Zepbound.
How big was the gap?
After 84 weeks, patients on CagriSema lost 23% of their body weight. Patients on Zepbound, tirzepatide, lost 25.5%. The trial's primary goal was to prove CagriSema wasn't inferior. It couldn't even do that. And here's what makes this devastating for Novo. Their stock had already fallen nearly 50% in 2025. They guided for sales to decline 5 to 13% this year, and now their best hope for a next-gen blockbuster just lost to the competition. Novo's Copenhagen shares hit their lowest level since June 2021. Meanwhile, Eli Lilly launched a new form of Zepbound on the same day, a pen that delivers a full month of doses in a single device. The timing couldn't have been worse for Novo. Lilly isn't just winning the trial, they're winning the market. Zepbound already holds about 70% of branded obesity prescriptions in the US.
So what happens to Novo now? Is CagriSema dead?
Not yet. It's filed for FDA approval, and a decision is expected later this year. 23% weight loss is still significant, better than anything currently on the market, including Novo's own Wegovy. But the narrative has shifted. Novo's CEO said they believe CagriSema still has the best efficacy of any available product, but Jefferies analysts are already forecasting Novo may need to spend up to $35 billion on M&A this year to shore up its pipeline. In pharma, when you're talking about needing acquisitions to fix your story, you've already lost the plot.
From a pharma crisis to a public health one, I've been seeing the measles numbers, and they're alarming.
They should be. The CDC reported 982 measles cases in 2026, in less than 2 months. That's more than 4 times the count at this point last year. 26 states have confirmed cases, and South Carolina alone accounts for nearly 800 cases since January, making it the largest single measles outbreak the United States has seen in a generation.
Measles, in 2026, a disease we had functionally eliminated.
Had being the key word. At least 20 people have been hospitalized in South Carolina alone, adults and children. Florida has 92 cases, 66 of them clustered at Ave Maria University near Naples. A graduate student there described getting measles despite being vaccinated. Ear infection, sore throat, full body rash, ended up in the ER. He told reporters, "If you're not vaccinated, go ahead and get vaccinated. It might not protect you 100%, but it's your best shot." And this is the part that should terrify parents. The New England Journal of Medicine just published a case study of a 7-year-old boy who contracted measles as an infant. Years later, he developed a condition called SSPE, subacute sclerosing panencephalitis. Seizures, loss of speech, progressive cognitive decline. Within a year of his first symptoms, he was dead. SSPE is rare, but it is almost always fatal, and the CDC estimates 7 to 11 out of every 100,000 measles patients are at risk. Before, measles was eliminated, that is. Now, MMR coverage is at 92.5%, below the 95% threshold needed for herd immunity.
And all this is happening while the MAHA movement is actively questioning vaccine policy.
Right. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Make America Healthy Again movement has narrowed childhood vaccine recommendations from 17 to 11. Doctors across the country are ignoring the CDC and following the American Academy of Pediatrics instead. Meanwhile, a company just petitioned the FDA to exempt AI medical devices from pre-market review, and pharma lobbyists are finding new avenues to influence an agency that RFK promised to free from industry capture. The system is fracturing, and measles is the canary in the coal mine.
Now there's also a serious escalation happening between Pakistan and Afghanistan.
A devastating one. Pakistan launched airstrikes across the Afghan border on February 21st and 22nd, hitting targets in Nangarhar and Paktika provinces. Pakistan claims it killed 70 militants, Taliban and ISIS-K fighters it blames for a string of suicide bombings, including the Islamabad mosque attack that killed 32 people earlier this month. But the United Nations says at least 13 civilians were killed and 7 injured. Afghanistan's education ministry says 8 school students, 5 boys and 3 girls, were among the dead in Nangarhar.
School children.
School children. The strikes came just days after Kabul released 3 Pakistani soldiers in a Saudi-mediated prisoner exchange meant to ease tensions. That goodwill evaporated overnight. The Taliban's defense ministry condemned the strikes as a violation of sovereignty and promised an appropriate response at a suitable time. Afghanistan summoned Pakistan's ambassador. We are watching a dangerous escalation along a 2,600-kilometre frontier that has already seen months of clashes and border closures disrupting trade and movement for millions.
And all of this is the backdrop for tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, President Trump delivers his State of the Union address, and he does so with the worst approval numbers of his second term. A CNN poll released today shows Trump's approval among independents at a new low. Strong approval among Republicans has dipped below 50% for the first time, down from 64% after last year's address to Congress. A Washington Post survey found only 48% of Republicans strongly approve of his performance, down from 63% a year ago. The AP NORC poll has him at 36% overall, net negative 26.
Is there a single issue driving the decline?
That's what's interesting. No. Ipsos data shows Americans don't point to one single problem. It's a fragmented landscape. Tariffs, cost of living, immigration chaos, the DHS shutdown that's still ongoing, measles outbreaks, the gold signal we talked about. There's no one crisis. There's a feeling, a pervasive sense that things are coming undone. Gold doesn't hit $5,000 because one thing is wrong. It hits 5,000 because enough people believe many things are. That's the world on February 23rd, 2026. A gold price screaming that the old financial order is shifting, a weight-loss drug empire crumbling, a disease we conquered coming back because we chose to stop fighting it, children dying in airstrikes that were supposed to be about peace, and a president about to tell the country that everything is fine. I'm Zuri. That's Zeitgeist. We'll see you tomorrow.